Check, check. Yeah.
Like literally like 3 seconds. If you
Hi, everybody. We're going to call this the 2-minute warning. The 2-minute warning. We like to start things on schedule here at Curling Canada, so this is your 2-minute warning. Being a CFL city, it should have been a 3-minute warning. My apologies. I am literally waiting until 10 a.m. Exactly. And we do have an audience from around the world. The World Curling Federation is sharing this as well, so be ready to clap when I tell you to clap. It is 10 o'clock, and my name is Al Cameron. I'm the Director of Communication and Media Relations for Curling Canada, and I am extremely happy to be here with all of you today. It means more than a lot of you know, I can tell you that right now. But before we get started, I'd like to read the following. We are gathered today on the traditional unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. We acknowledge that we are guests, and we offer our thanks to our hosts. As guests, we are honored to gather here today, and we thank all the generations of Anishinaabe Algonquin people and who have and continue to take care of this beautiful land and are the keepers of the Ottawa River watershed and its tributaries. We value the contributions that Inuit, Métis, and other Indigenous peoples have made in shaping and strengthening our community, our province, and our country. The recognition of the contribution and historic importance of Indigenous peoples is our commitment to make truth and reconciliation real in our community and to bring justice for murdered and missing Indigenous women and children across our country. With that, I would like to introduce Grandmother Irene Compton, who is Soto from the Kisikoos Band in Saskatchewan. She'll be opening our event with a song to invite the ancestors in and create a safe space.
Thank you, Al. So we're going to open with the medicines. And so it's our understanding that the men in our community are the fire keepers. They are the spark of life. And the women are the life givers, so they are the water keepers. And so I'm going to ask Al to be my fire keeper today. So this is sage. This is what we use to cleanse ourselves. And before we ask those ancestors to come through that from the spirit world, we cleanse ourselves so that they can come and be with us. So I want you to think about your own ancestors. We all have ancestors, and they are our helpers. And so I want you to think about them and invite them in as I sing this beautiful song. So, Al, firekeeper. So, have you been a camper or a Boy Scout or
A camper. I've camped.
Okay.
Do you rub them together? No.
Yeah. Oh, this is wonderful. So we're just lighting this beautiful sage. And you can see those ancestors, they really want to come and visit us. I always say when the flame is really high, they're just waiting to come in. So we're going to cleanse, if you can stand, please. We're going to cleanse our minds so that we'll have clarity and understanding. We're going to cleanse our ears so that we can listen with intent. And we're going to cleanse our eyes so that we can see a good future, especially for the beautiful message today. And we cleanse our mouth so that we be respectful to say good things to one another. And we make that connection from our heart to our Creator. And I like to cleanse my tummy because that's where all your feelings sit. And so we want to take any of those crazy feelings and we just want to take them in and put them and ground them right to Mother Earth so that we can be present for one another. So you can hold this while I'm singing. It'll go out on its own. Those ancestors just, let the flame go out. All right. So this beautiful song I'm going to sing to you is, it reminds me of Grand Entry. We have, at powwows, we have Grand Entry, and what happens in that Grand Entry is the elders are first. They dance in first, and behind them is the police and the veterans. Because this is an honor song, and we want to honor all the people in the community. And behind them is the community. They dance into the circle. So I am hoping and praying that you have a really good gathering and lots of people come. All right, so I'm going to do 4 honor beats. We're going to come in through that eastern doorway. And if you feel like singing with me, please do. It's a very simple song. So, way hey, 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 take it away. Way hey, way hey, way hey, way hey. Southern direction, we especially pray for our youth. We pray for their confidence and their well-being and their leadership, for they are the leaders of the next 7 generations. Megazen konnichiwa, Megazen konnichiwa, 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 Megazen konnichiwa. Let me hear ya. Way hey, way is where the bear sits. And the bear is the one that protects the people and stands up for the vulnerable. And my prayers these days are for the Ukrainian people. So let's sing to that bear. Megazen kiwagma, Megazen kiwagma, 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 Megazen kiwagma. Way hey, 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 way hey. Oh, you guys are doing so good. All right, our last round. So let's invite your ancestors in. And let's thank that eagle for sending our prayers to Creator. Megazen chi miigwech, Megazen chi miigwech, chi miigwech, chi miigwech, Megazen chi miigwech. Way hey, 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 way hey. Give yourselves a hand.
I feel sorry for all the speakers after that. That's going to be a tough act to follow. listen, I'm not going to keep you in suspense any longer. We've been waiting a long time for today, and I'm going to introduce our Chief Executive Officer, Catherine Henderson, to give you some really, really good news.
Thanks, Al. Well, this is long overdue, isn't it? Je suis honnêtement et sincèrement heureuse de représenter Curling Canada, notre conseil de gouverneurs, nos employés, de même que nos amis et partenaires de la Fédération mondiale de curling. Aujourd'hui, en cette journée existante pour le curling et la ville d'Ottawa pour plusieurs raisons évidentes. I am really and truly privileged to represent Curling Canada, our Board of Governors, and our staff, as well as our friends and partners at the World Curling Federation, today on what is an exciting day for the sport of curling and for the city of Ottawa for a lot of obvious reasons. I'm not going to make you wait any longer. Get ready for a party, Ottawa. We're finally bringing the Men's World Curling Championships here to TD Place. Now, we all know this was supposed to happen last year, and we all know that that went sideways due to the pandemic, but I'm positive this is going to be worth the wait. Being able to make today's announcement is really one of the best and most anticipated and most relieved moments that I've had since joining Curling Canada. There are so many people who have worked hard to make today's announcement possible, but it really starts with our partners at the World Curling Federation. Their stewardship and leadership continues to take curling to new heights around the globe. On behalf of Curling Canada, thank you to our President, Kate Caithness, and her entire team at the WCF for their continued faith in our organization to hold these events in Canada. I think it's pretty obvious that we love Ottawa. Our headquarters are here, of course, and I see a lot of familiar faces here today with us to celebrate this great news and this announcement. We've had amazing events here in the past, and as you all know, and a big reason why Ottawa just rolls out the welcome mat. And that starts from the top. Mayor Jim Wilson, we know what a fan you are of curling, and I have a good feeling you'll be spending a lot of time with us here at TD Place next April. Your support, as well as the support from Ottawa Tourism, keeps us coming back here with smiles on our faces. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone here today from the provincial government as they're in transition right now after the recent election, but I can tell you that the Ontario government, and in particular Lisa MacLeod, who was the Minister of Heritage, Sport, Tourism and Culture Industries prior to the election, were significant supporters of Ottawa's bid for the World Championship. We're thankful to the province of Ontario for their continued support. We're fortunate at Curling Canada that we have the opportunity to work with our dedicated member associations across the country. As we work together to build our sport from coast to coast, I'd like to thank Curl-On Executive Director Steve Chenier for his valuable contribution in making today's announcement possible. Steve, we know Ottawa fans will be loud and proud cheering for Team Canada next April. And to our local host committee, headed by Vice Chairs Elaine Brimacombe, Ann Davis, Stephanie Birtwhistle, and Ken Jakes. You've already put in long hours to make today happen. Well, you've actually put in a couple of years of work to make today happen, and we know the next 10 months will be busy as well, but we will do everything we can to make them really rewarding for you too. We look forward to working with you to make this event successful on and off the ice. Again, thank you, all of you, for joining us today, and we'll see you next April in Ottawa. Thank you.
I'm excited, if you can't tell. I mean, just even doing today's announcement, I'm thrilled, because the last time we announced this, as you recall, a lot of you were on our Zoom call, and I'm not going to lie, I was wearing pajama bottoms for that Zoom call, and it's a pleasure to be wearing pants here today. Words I'd never thought I'd say on the job, but obviously this is big news, and one of the things that we need to acknowledge is that we're taking over this arena the first week in April, April 1st to 9th, and that means the primary tenants, Marty Dagenet and Norm Milley from the Ottawa 67s are here. They won't be here, and we really appreciate your support, guys. I know it's a big ask of junior hockey teams to leave that time of year, and I really appreciate you guys seeing the benefits of that event, and we wish you the best of luck next season, and we hope you we'll be able to watch you guys play somewhere else during that first week in April. I know I have every confidence in you guys, so thank you very much. Mayor Watson, Kathy mentioned just the support, and we know how supportive you are of all of our events, and we just want to thank you, and we'd like to bring you up to bring some greetings from the City of Ottawa. Mayor Watson.
Well, thank you very much, Al and Catherine, and ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs. C'est des bonnes nouvelles pour la ville d'Ottawa. Certainly some great news for the City of Ottawa, who has a rich history in curling and championships. So many great leaders in the curling community have come from Ottawa. And I want to thank you all for inviting me to congratulate our city and our tremendous volunteers. I think, Elaine, we have the best curling volunteers in the country. They come out in such great numbers, and sometimes, we're lucky. In my position, I get to go to these nice events, and you get a nice seat and maybe, a free sandwich or something. And then the volunteers are out in the cold directing traffic or, at the back stage by the Zamboni, not doing the most glamorous jobs, but essential to make this kind of event a success. Many years ago, we adopted a philosophy at the City of Ottawa which said we wanted to attract more events like this championship. And it was called Win More, Bid More, Host More. And we've had some great success. The Briar was here. We've had the NHL Outdoor Classic celebrating the 100th anniversary of the first hockey game, which took place in Ottawa for the NHL. We had the volleyball championships just a few weeks ago. And we couldn't do that without our friends and partners at OSEG. And Mark Gowdy, the president of OSEG, is here. Thank you, Mark, for your team's great opening, embrace of these kind of events, which sometimes disrupt some of your other tenants, like our great friends at the Ottawa 67s. But for the greater good, we're going to have the international spotlight on Ottawa because of your announcement today, Catherine. So thank you very, very much for that. Finally, this will be my, I won't be mayor when the event comes along because I'm not running for re-election. But I wanted to say to our friends at Ottawa Tourism, I don't know if anyone's here from Ottawa Tourism, but we've got, here they are right in the front row, I'm sorry. I want to thank Ottawa Tourism. They're great partners because they adopted the philosophy of bid more, win more, host more to get these events. Not only is it good for the spirit of the city and it picks us up, particularly after the last 2.5 years of dealing with COVID. It's nice to have, live in-person activities and championships. But it's also great for the economy. This will pour millions of dollars into the economy, create jobs, sustain jobs, and that's something that we can't underestimate. We don't do it just for economic development reasons, but it has that great spillover effect. So I also thank Lisa in absentia because they have their cabinet shuffle that's taking place in about an hour. So I know she's been very, very supportive with provincial funds over the course of the last little while as well. Alors certainement au nom de tous mes collègues du Conseil municipal de la Ville d'Ottawa, merci beaucoup pour cette bonne nouvelle aujourd'hui, Catherine. C'est des bonnes nouvelles pour non seulement des personnes dans le monde de curling, mais aussi des spectateurs. And we have not only great volunteers, we have an amazing cheering sections that come in and will fill this place next year. So have a great championship. I look forward to coming and sitting in the regular seats with no free sandwich anymore. And I wish you all the very, very best. Thank you. Merci. Thanks, Al.
Mayor Watson, let's just say that you know a guy who knows a guy who might be able to hook you up with a patch token or two here. Let's just say we really and truly appreciate the City of Ottawa's support. Mayor Watson touched on some of the support that comes out there, and he touched on OSEG, and Mark and Val Wilson, too, I'd like to acknowledge, or Val Hughes, I got Wilson on the brain. Val Hughes, thank you so much for all the support that you guys have provided to make today possible as well. The worldwide viewing audience is something else, I can tell you that. The World Curling Federation provides some of the details, and we're in the hundreds of millions when you factor in the Chinese audience, the Japanese audience, the South Korean audience. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this event and a lot of eyeballs on the City of Ottawa, and that's a major reason why there's so many bids that come in. Now, this was Danny Lamoureux from Curling Canada, who oversees a lot of our bidding process. I believe there was even bids for this, even though it was kind of a fait accompli that Ottawa was going to get the chance to host. But the bids that come in for a World Curling Championship it's pretty significant, the number of cities in Canada that want to host this event, and it's a testament to the people here in Ottawa that it wasn't even a thought process that we were going to make this happen in 2023. So congratulations, all of you. Curl On, Steve, there you are, Steve Chenier, just an amazing supporter of our sport in this province, living right here in Ottawa, so I know he's going to be here a lot of the draws. So Steve, can you come up and bring some greetings from Curl On?
Thanks, Al. Yeah, on behalf of Curl On, our board, our operations team, and the over 180 clubs and 55,000 curlers in the province, we're super excited that this announcement finally happened. World's worst kept secret for 2.5 years, roughly. So, no, we're super excited. We're looking forward to the event here in April. Anytime an event of this nature gets held in our province, it raises the profile of our sport, and we get more people interested in the game. So, as a body, we're going to take advantage of that and piggyback on some of the things that are going on and attract more people to come out and play. It's great to have things. The Ottawa host group, the City of Ottawa, the province, Curling Canada, the World Curling Federation, having the trust to come back here and do events here is fantastic. Ottawa's had a great legacy of hosting events here in Ontario. Very well done with the recent history of the trials, the Briar. Super events, very, very well done, and they generate funds for Curling Canada, for Curl On, to be able to invest in our programs to help grow the sport and continue the movement. So, j'ai hâte de vous tous recevoir ici en avril. Je vous remercie et bonne chance à tous. Go Canada!
Thanks, Steve. Last time we were in this building, as many of you recall, the 2016 Tim Hortons Briar. Certain elements of that event are hazy for me, thanks to the patch, which I only went to for research purposes, of course. But yes, the patch will be hopping. We can't wait to get things going over there. Tickets, that's always a big question when an announcement like that. And fortunately, our ticketing manager, Andy Henry, is right here. Wave your hand, Andy. I believe people can look forward to September 15th. Is that the number that, yeah, September 15th. That's when we expect to put full event passes on sale. And you can look for announcements regarding volunteers in the coming weeks as well, because I know we turn people away from volunteering here, quite frankly. So when that word gets out, please spread the word and get in there early, because it's a big opportunity to get involved with the World Curling Championship, and the first time it's ever been here in Ottawa, which is very, very exciting. Tourism Ottawa. I was talking to Catherine earlier today about Rob Kawamoto, who was literally calling me every 3 weeks. When are we going to announce this? When are we going to announce this? And the day we announce it, Rob can't be here. But it is what it is, and we have a more than capable stand-in. Catherine Callery, the Vice President of Destination Development for Ottawa Tourism. Would you like to come up and say a few words?
Annie, bonjour. Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, everyone. My name is Catherine Callery. Thanks for the introduction, Al. I'm standing in for Michael Crockett today. He would have loved to have been here, but he's actually currently overseas. So thank you for this opportunity to celebrate the news of the World Men's Curling Championships for 2023 coming to Ottawa. Quelle annonce propice et fantastique pour notre communauté vibrante et dynamique du curling ici à Ottawa. Et d'ailleurs pour toute la communauté touristique de notre ville. Ottawa is highly invested in attracting high-profile national and international sporting events to our city, as the mayor talked about with the Bid More, Win More, Host More strategy. And the reason is clear. Economic impacts as part of this event are huge and far-reaching. And as international and national competitors and their families are going to be staying in our hotels, dining in our restaurants, visiting our attractions, and generally, while they're here, bringing their visitor dollars to all kinds of local businesses who are very appreciative of that support, especially now after a long and lean and challenging 2 years. So this is exactly what we need to boost spirits and help recover Ottawa's visitor economy. And boost spirits it will. Ottawa's curling fans, we're a bunch of curling fans, we're curlers ourselves, or have touched the joy of the sport in some way and some form. So seeing curlers from around the world gathering on our ice surfaces and facing off, well, it's simply an inspiration to many, and it will bring a great deal of pride to our community to be hosting such a prestigious event. To it's a big deal, obviously for Ottawa spectators, but it's also a very big deal in terms of the destination exposure that we're going to be receiving through the broadcast hours and visibility. Thanks for mentioning that, Al, earlier. Eyes on the capital of this country on television sets around the world. So coming back to the economic impacts, though, this event is no small actor, easily reaching $9 million in economic impact from logistics to its almost 2,400 out-of-town attendees who book room nights and dine at restaurants and so on. This is a considerable stride in reinvigorating sport tourism in the capital. So thank you for making this happen. It is no understatement to say that it takes a village and determination to bring an event of this caliber to our city. And in particular, I'd like to call out some thank yous. Kate Caithness, who isn't here today from the World Curling Federation, and Catherine Henderson is standing in for World Curling Federation as well as Curling Canada, so thank you, Catherine. Steve Chenier, thank you. To our passionate local host committee, headed up by Elaine Brimacom, but to your whole team. And to the team at OSEG and the Ottawa 67s, thanks very much, Mark and Val. Of course, the support of our province and Minister Lisa MacLeod. We'll see, fingers crossed for her in the next hour or so. And our tireless tourism champion locally, Mayor Jim Watson. Thank you so much for your support of this event and always in tourism. And to my many teammates at Ottawa Tourism who hustle behind the scenes, you know who you are, especially Rob Kawamoto, if you're watching right now on the stream. So merci à vous tous. There's probably others I've missed. Please forgive me if I have. Like I said, there's no question that big wins like this take many hands. The point is, Ottawa is thrilled to host you. We almost got the chance, a couple years ago, and good things are worth the wait. So now we absolutely, can't wait to show off what Ottawa's many cultural, culinary, entertainment, and scenic gems are to the curlers who are coming from Canada and around the world. Ottawa's ready to host you. Merci, miigwech, and thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. I'm going to introduce a couple of people here who didn't expect to be introduced, but I'm going to introduce them anyways. The event managers who will be working this event, Neil Houston and Amanda Mackenzie, will be working this event and doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And thank you for joining us today. They'll be on the ground a lot here in Ottawa, getting to know all of you and making this event successful. But obviously, the people who will do the most work here on the ground is our host committee. And I know how frustrating it was a couple of years ago when we had to move this event to Calgary, and I know how excited they are for today to be a reality, and I know the work is already underway. And I'm going to introduce one of the vice chairs, Elaine Brimacombe, to bring greetings from the host committee.
Thank you, Al. Well, yes, this has been a very long time coming. If you notice, some of our jackets say Bring the World to Ottawa 2021. A couple of years late, but that's okay. It was really a huge disappointment when we couldn't host this event in 2021, but we went right back to work for today's announcement. There's an amazing group of volunteers in the Ottawa Valley, and they're all ready to roll up their sleeves, and many of them are here today, so thank you for coming today. And a note to the volunteers, please make sure that you're following Curling Canada's social media feeds and their newsletters so you get that call to sign up to volunteer. As it was mentioned, when we did the Brier, all those volunteer positions were filled within a couple of days, and we saw a similar success when we did the Olympic trials. So if you really want to volunteer and there's really a position you want, get in there as soon as that call goes out. If you registered for the 2021 event, you need to re-register. Okay, so thank you. From the moment athletes from around the world arrive at Ottawa International Airport until we turn off the lights in the patch, which sometimes is quite late, our volunteers will be there to ensure that everyone has the best possible experience. I'd like to welcome members of the youth curling community who are taking up this wonderful row. Thank you very much. You make us very proud. And in particular, I'd like to recognize Team Acres. Team Acres is the U18 reigning women's Ontario champion, and they competed on the national level last May. Great job, and thank you for representing curlers and the youth movement. You, as grandmother Irene said, you are our future, and so thank you for being here. I wanted to mention too that proceeds from the ticket sales, the revenues, a portion of that goes to the local curling association, your provincial curling association, your national curling association. All three associations are committed to investing that money into youth curling. So whether it be a 6-year-old Little Rock or a 21-year-old competing at the national championship, that money goes back into youth curling from all three associations. So the Ottawa Valley Curling Association, Curl On, and Curling Canada, that's where that money goes. So every time you purchase a ticket, you are supporting youth curling. So purchase a lot of tickets and support the youth. Thank you to everyone. I know we've said a lot of thanks. I do want to call out a few people specifically. Mayor Watson, back in 2015 when we held the announcement here, I thanked you for having the vision and support of sports and sport tourism, and I continue to thank you for doing that. And we'll make sure you get a good seat and a beer. I want to thank you, really. Your support of curling the last couple events has been phenomenal, and we look forward to having you as a fan in a regular seat. Thank you to the World Curling Federation for your confidence in selecting Ottawa as the host city. And I know it's been mentioned several times before, but in particular, I can't thank enough Lisa McLeod for her generosity and her support and pushing the envelope, and the Ministry of Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Cultural Industries for their very generous support hosting grant. And Grandmother Irene, it's an honor to meet you. Your words were inspiring. Miigwech. This is a team effort, and I want to acknowledge and thank our host vice chairs, Ann Davis, way in the back, Stephanie Burtwhistle, and Ken Jakes. And Ann, I'm sorry that you're spending your birthday with us, but happy birthday to you. So, let's get to work. Thank you.
Well, how about that? We're coming here. We're coming here in April, the World Curling Freaking Championship. I couldn't be happier, and very, very, very happy for the city of Ottawa. So that concludes the formal portion today. Media members who are here, if you'd like to do some scrums, we can get any speaker you want. Please help yourself to the Tim Hortons product and some coffee and water over there. And let's get to work. Let's get to work for the 2023 World Men's Curling Championship. Thanks, everyone.